In this show, what you're about to watch is simple, real, and unfiltered. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We're just here to share raw conversations, interesting insights, and a little bit of knowledge. But at the end of the day, who cares?
It's okay if I increase the black. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Spasibo. Okay, it's recording. Which question? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Fire them away.
The way I start,
Yeah.
I don't have any intro.
Yeah.
So what I do is asking people to introduce themselves.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, from like a business point of view.
Up to you. You choose the way you want.
So hi, my name is Anna. I am a music and brand partnerships MENA specialist. So I have had the pleasure to work with powerhouses like Sony Music Entertainment Middle East. I led the music team at Tik Tok. I had an incredibly random year working with Melt Middle East, bringing over US celebrities into this part of the region for partnerships. And now I have my own company called Female Talent Agency, which I launched last year in 2024. We're a female-led creative agency that specialises in music and brand partnerships. I grew up in Dubai, so I'm a Dubai kid.
Yeah, you grew up in Dubai, yeah?
Yes, yeah, I've been
There's
here.
I haven't met many people that grew up in Dubai actually. I mean, like expat grew up in Dubai though.
Yeah, I mean, Dubai is my home. I have a bit of a identity crisis.
Because you have a
I
strong
I
British
have a very
accent.
strong British
Yeah,
accent.
yeah.
First of all, I lived in Saudi. Then we went back to the UK for a little bit. Then we came back to Dubai. Then I went back to the UK. Then we came back to Dubai. I went and worked my first ever job, which was one of my favourite ever jobs, at Dubai International Film Festival.
Okay.
And I just absolutely loved it. And it was mainly Emiratis that worked within the core team. And my accent was just too strong and it was just too fast. So then I had to downplay the Scouse accent, and now I'm left with this. So
Still British though.
Still
British though.
Still
Yeah.
British.
You can't pretend to be from somewhere else.
Yeah, but it's just, God, because when I go back to the UK now, I feel like a tourist. Like Dubai is my home, right? So
It is, it's your home,
in
yeah.
total, I've been here for 30 years. So obviously I'm not Emirati,
Yeah.
but when I'm in England, I feel like a tourist. I'm a third culture kid, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, where do I come from? Dubai is my home to me, but I have a British accent, I have a British passport, but sometimes I always say to my husband, I have this identity crisis of look, when somebody asks me that question, see how I've just babbled, I don't have an answer for it, right?
Because you
it's
don't know.
such an overwhelming
If we ask you,
question for
where
me.
are you from?
Where are you from? Obviously I'm from the UK, but I grew up here. I feel like Dubai is where I'm from. I feel like Dubai is my home.
I met you in 2012.
Yeah.
I was telling you.
Yes.
You were working at Sony Music.
Yes.
Almost 15 years.
Yes.
You're still in the music business.
Yes,
So
yeah.
why are you still in the music business?
You know what? I only ever wanted to work in the music industry, and I was actually thinking about this the other day. I only ever wanted to work on it on the business side, and I made that decision quite early at 16. From day one, I was pretty clear that this is the industry that I want to go and work in. I didn't know exactly what it is I wanted to do within the industry. Obviously, it changes so much, right?
What changed the most since you started in the industry and today?
It's changed radically. So, I mean, look, when I first worked for record labels, it was at a time where, we would find talent and invest in them and develop them, and we would grow with them long term. That does still happen, but now it's all about streaming, right? So it's a lot of labels is how do we get as much catalogue as possible on streaming platforms to make money. So it did change. When I first started at Sony Music, we were selling CDs at Virgin, right? Yeah. So it was like, who could get that key placement in the window?
It is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But now, so streaming radically changed the game, right?
For MENA, over the last 5 years, we've gone under the biggest transformation, right?
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, obviously streaming has rocketed. Saudi's obviously going through this whole cultural revolution. They're now open to music and entertainment. The government's not being hesitant. Artists aren't being hesitant. Audiences are not being hesitant. We've got global IPs coming into the market like Billboard Arabia. The Grammys is coming.
Really?
So, when I was at Sony Music for 10 years, sometimes I constantly felt like we were fighting to be seen and heard on the global map. And now it's just all eyes on Mina, right? So, everyone's expecting what happened with Latin America, where their music went global, that Arab music is on the tipping point of also going global. It's already happening. We're seeing artists like Eliana and Saint Laurent.
Okay.
They've got this global presence. They're going on these tours. So much has changed over the last...
streaming is one of the key aspects of it.
Correct.
So how do, you said like record label, they want to have as many artists to make them stream as much as possible. Like
Yes.
how does the business works? Can you explain it?
A lot of the labels started focusing on buying catalog, right?
Okay.
So buying Arabic catalog to put it on streaming platforms. So that became a big focus for a while. They're still obviously investing in Arabic artists and developing Arabic artists, but a big priority did become, we need as much music as possible on DSPs to stream to make
to be
revenue.
able to stream.
Yeah.
And streaming is the main source of revenue for an artist or not?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's challenging to be an artist right now. So if we break down how they can make money streaming, going on tour, they can make money from merchandise. I also feel like that's an untapped space in our region.
Okay.
And then what I do, which is brand partnerships, right? So
This is where the money is. Is there there's a huge opportunity for artists to generate revenue with brands?
There is, but it's not just a paycheck. So artists working with brands, it has so many other benefits, right? Of course, obviously it helps them financially, but it allows them to tap into new audiences. Working with brands opens doors, the market's watching, right? So if an artist starts to work with a brand, it builds up their credibility, they start to be on other people's radars. So yes, artists working with brands can help them financially, but it's not all
There's also
about
exposure.
That. Exactly.
There's
tapping into new audiences, co-creating, credibility. It leads to potentially another project with that brand. So for me, it's what we do at FTA. It's about aligning the right artists with the right brand.
FTA is
female talent agency.
Female talent agency.
Yeah.
It's your agency.
Yeah.
Just a little pause on TikTok. You were head of music partnership.
Head of music.
Head of music at TikTok.
Yeah.
I just started my TikTok a month ago.
Yeah.
So I'm discovering it.
Yeah.
Apparently TikTok is a big deal for music.
Yeah.
It's like this is where you can launch your career right now.
Yeah,
so
because content can go so viral, right?
So what makes it so special?
Look, there's nobody behind the scenes at TikTok making this happen. There's no secret formula to this is what you have to do. I promise you. Because it's funny because when I went to TikTok, a lot of my friends in the industry were like, oh yeah, Anna's the head of music. She can help us with our artists. We're not there behind the scenes going to and then boom, it goes viral, right? So it is just just being amazing at creating content, creating a song that emotionally connects with people. And the power of TikTok is people from all over the world can now so easily connect with each other and communicate with each other that it starts to go viral.
TikTok is a streaming platform somehow? Do you generate revenue with TikTok? Or?
I'm not exactly sure what the percent is, and I'm not sure how much gets paid back to the label and then how much gets paid.
But literally, if you have if you get viral on TikTok, your song's getting viral on TikTok.
Yeah, if your song's being used.
Used again and again, you generate revenue the same way you'll have some streaming on Spotify. Or,
Yeah, correct. And then artists and influencers will get paid by brands to use their product.
Like brand integration, like brand partnership.
Exactly.
And this is what you were doing, head of music partnership. So partnership was with brand?
So the head of music at TikTok, there's lots of different things within that, right? So you're responsible for growing the music ecosystem within TikTok, and that's a number of things, right? That's getting getting artists to join the platform, right? So
is it hard to do that?
Yes,
everyone
it's hard.
really?
Yes, it was. Yeah, especially for the older, more the legacy artists.
This is I'm not into TikTok at all.
Yeah, of course. So getting them to join, getting them to be active on the platform, helping them understand the platform, the benefits to it. Also, engaging with the music industry. So as TikTok, how do we make sure that we have a relationship with the labels? We're helping the labels promote their artists. There's a music section, I don't know if it's changed, but when I was there was a music section with playlists that had to be updated, weekly. And also as the TikTok music team, how are we present at offline events, right? So what are we doing at XP Music Conference? What are we doing at the other music events that are happening around the region? But really it was about getting as many artists from this region on the platform and getting them to be active. Yeah.
But those are like legacy, like old artists, like the new one, they don't need you to tell them like, go on TikTok. They're already started on TikTok, right?
I mean, Gen Z, right? I call them like Gen Z content
Okay.
creators, right?
Yeah.
They were born into that generation. They know no different of creating content, right? So when they're starting off in their careers, they already understand that, you know, I have to create content. I need to be seen and heard on these platforms. There's so many benefits to doing it. So it comes more naturally to the younger. I mean, some of the older artists are fantastic at it also, but
as an artist, you need to be on social media. You need, you have no other choices.
Yeah.
But like, okay, that's your way in nowadays. It's social media, right?
I mean, great music is always going to be successful, right? If it's
no
an
matter what.
absolute smash hit, it's going to get out there. But you know, to be an artist nowadays, especially if you're going to be an independent artist, right? There's so many different things that you have to consider. It's your brand. What is your brand as an artist, right? Your brand identity. How are you on your social platforms? What is your strategy? You know, what is your live strategy? You're handling your own marketing. You have to be business savvy. You have to understand, you know, your contracts, publishing, licensing, this, that, and the other. If you're going to be an independent artist, then you have to kind of have a real strong overview of the whole ecosystem, or have a really strong team behind you that understand.
And that's, you have your agency. That's what you do. You help the artists. Like, what do you do in your agency with the artists? How do you work with them?
Yeah, what we do with FTA is, you know, that side of the business is normally I work with brands 12 months. And, you know, they say, Anna, this is my marketing budget. We're going to allocate you this for music activations throughout the year. And then we look at their 12-month calendar, right? We see, okay, right, so they've got a product that is being released in April, for example. So then I deep dive into that product with the brand, right? So I fully immerse myself in the brand's DNA, understand everything from their brand personality, their tone of voice, their keywords, who their consumers are. And then I know, for example, okay, so they have this product that they want to promote in April, right? So then I look at the artists that I have on my roster or the artists that I know within my network. And when I see that there's a match between the brand and the artist, then that's when I come together and I say, okay, these are the type of things that we can do.
Set a new standard for recognizing and elevating female talent.
So you're planning the entire year?
Yeah, so that's a big chunk of my business. The other half is I actually have a roster of FTA artists.
I checked your website and I saw there's like female, huh?
Yeah.
So you only work with women?
I wanted to provide more opportunities for female artists in this region. And then I also wanted to create a space for women who want to work in the industry to come and work at FTA. So I'm putting as many female artists forward as possible, and a lot of the projects that I've done over the last 12 months have only had female artists in. But you know, some of my clients, you know, they want to target both male and female. So I will never turn down an opportunity for a male artist, right? My priority is to always help all artists. So in some of the projects that I do, there is male artists, but female artists are still.
Unless the male identify as a female. No, I'm joking. It's a joke. Sorry. So as an entrepreneur, you have to be active on social media.
Yes.
You have to be, as a person, you have to be more out there.
Yes.
Like, so what's your favorite platform to...
Listen, I have always been shocking at self-PR, which is very strange because I'm a very confident person, but I've always been a very comfortable behind the scenes person when it comes to my work, right? So I've never, in my previous roles, you know, I didn't really speak on panels. I was not very active on LinkedIn. I've done some incredible projects that have had incredible results. And I don't really shout about them. I kind of pat myself on the back.
Good job.
And I'm good, right? I'm good because I know inside I did that, right? So I don't need validation from other people. Like, I'm very content with, I know I've done a good job. I'm happy. So I started putting myself out there. So I've done a few panel discussions. And you know what? It's so funny because the first panel discussion that I did, I had my Apple Watch on. And
you said attention.
Honest to God, I thought I was going to keel over on stage because my heart rate was like, boom, 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 and it was like beeping. I'm like, I'm literally going to keel over on stage. I swear to God. And then now, like, when I say I'm a confident person, like I can walk into a meeting, I can pitch this, that, and the other. I'm confident very socially. When it comes to doing stuff like this, right, it has to be earned, right? You have to earn the confidence to be able to speak on a panel. You have to earn the confidence to be able to be on a podcast, and it takes practice. So now I'm doing it as much as possible, and what I'm trying to do.
Can we say that it's your first podcast?
It's my first podcast. Yeah. Please edit it very nicely.
It's good. Don't worry. I'll do my best.
This year I've made like this. On my vision board, it's, you have to put a face to this company. You have to put yourself out more there. But I'm just making sure that when I do it, I'm true to myself. I am who I am. And
you have nothing to prove as well.
Exactly right. Like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody else on camera.
I mean, you've done so much. You've met a lot of people, successful people, like celeb.
Yeah.
And then you realize that you have nothing to prove to anyone but yourself, right?
Like, this year has changed me completely as a person. Like, my whole, when I first launched the company, I was taking in a lot of everybody has an opinion, right? And at the beginning, I wanted validation because I'd gone from working with these big global organizations with thousands of people that you had so many people to say, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then all of a sudden, it's just yourself. So in the beginning, I was asking people for their opinion, and I quickly realized that's the wrong thing to do,
100%.
right? Like, if I'm setting up a company, it's because I'm ready to do it, right? So now I keep my cards very close to my chest. I don't ask people for
their opinions.
So in the beginning, I started like absorbing. And actually, I found there was quite a lot of negativity about becoming an entrepreneur if you'd had a successful corporate career.
We're telling you not to do it?
Not to do it.
Really?
Oh my, yeah. Very close people to me were like...
Were you scared of doing it? Did you have to deal with some fear?
No, because I'd made the decision to do it, and I was backing... I knew I've always been a really hard worker, and I knew I could survive the first year. And I said to myself, if I do this and it doesn't work within the first 12 months, I will hold my head up high and I will hold my hands up and say, I tried it, it didn't work, I'll go back into the corporate world. Your CV doesn't get a raise.
Yeah, who cares
right?
at the end?
You still have all of that experience. You've still worked at these amazing companies in senior positions. So and it's difficult because you go on LinkedIn and you announce, I'm setting up this company, this, that, and the other. I get it. It could be really difficult to then go, hold on, it didn't work. So in my mind, I knew I would have the balls to do that, right? I knew I'd be able to go back knocking on doors and say, look, tried to set up my own company. It didn't work. I've still got all this experience. Can I come and work with you? So I knew I would have been confident enough.
Did you ask for people's opinion, or just like they just throw it to you?
Yeah, because everyone's entitled to their opinion, and people were looking at it like, Anna, you're at the peak of your corporate career. You've got a lovely package. You've got 2 kids. This, that, and the other. Like, why risk it all? Like, why do it? So I actually found there was quite a lot of negativity around me wanting to step out and do this. There was a lot of, are you sure? This, that, and the other. So what happened was, when I launched, I went into like survival mode. So you woke up every day with like, oh my God, what have I done? I've made this is terrible. What if I've ruined my whole career? This, that, and the other. And every day you're just like, I've got to get business. And then, once it starts to come in, you start to feel better. And to be honest, it took me like up until I'd say 10 months, and something just flipped in my brain, and I was like, what if it all goes right? And it is going right. And I stopped caring about what other people think. Like, I couldn't give a excuse my language.
You can say whatever you want. We say fuck here.
Yeah, like in the beginning, I cared so much about what everybody thought, and now I literally could not give a right. I'm building this company for what I stand for. Now I wake up every day and I'm like, there's a solution for everything. I believe I'm purpose driven every day. I'm just so positive about what is to come with FTA. That whole, I don't listen to anyone's
opinion.
Yeah, I'm not absorbing anyone's energy anymore. If people want to give me their opinions, I just nod and I smile.
Good for you.
Yeah, but you quickly learn.
Yeah.
You quickly learn like whose opinions you should listen to. So I surround myself now with other fellow entrepreneurs who are a few years ahead of me. So their advice is so valuable. I have a small group of extremely supportive women who are in very senior positions within the industry that if I do want advice, and there's 4 of them, I go to them, and they believe in FTA's mission, 2, they're the best in the business, and 3, they care about me. So I trust them 100%. So if I do need to talk to somebody about something, I have a very small circle. Whereas in the beginning, whoever would listen to me, I'm like, what do you think? What of this, that, and the other? But now it's just cards close to my chest. I fully trust my intuition. I fully trust the universe to guide me. Now I just look forward. There's none of that. What if it all goes wrong? It's just like, what if it all goes right?
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much. And if you're a man or woman, you can reach out. We can reach out to you, right?
Yeah, of course,
FTA, Female Talent Agency, on LinkedIn, on Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram, yes.
TikTok, obviously.
No, not on TikTok, don't judge me.
You're not on TikTok?
Not yet.
You're not on TikTok? Come on, you have to be on TikTok though. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're not on TikTok? What's that? Really? That's crazy.
I spend a lot of time on TikTok.